Yo, what's up, gamers? So in this video, I'm going to be recording top 5 Roblox Dead Rails beginner mistakes. So I've thought about top 5 mistakes that beginners would tend to make, as I also made when I was a beginner. And in this video, I'm going to show them to you, so then if you're a Roblox beginner, then you can go ahead and watch this, and you'll hopefully get a bit better at Roblox Dead Rails when you finish watching it. So I'm not here to waste your time, I'm here to give you real advice. So without further ado, let's begin. So mistake number 5 is ignoring all corpses. So trust me, even though the corpses are dead bodies, the bodies are a lot more useful than they seem. Like, you can use dead bodies for fuel, you can use them to tame wolves, and you can even use them as defense if you want to. Alright, like, a corpse, especially zombie corpse, can be used for a ton of useful stuff. So if you come across some zombie corpse, never ignore them. Because say you're raiding a village and you ignore all the zombie corpse, that's definitely a big mistake. Because each zombie corpse counts as 800 meters worth of fuel. And so then think of how many zombies there are in the village. So the amount of corpse in the village times 700 meters is, like, yeah, a lot of meters worth of fuel. So never leave the zombie corpse, alright? Mistake number 4 is ignoring the rifle. Just straight up, not even looking at it, not even buying it. Alright, that is definitely a big mistake, because the rifle is, in my opinion, the best weapon in the whole game. Like, I tried the revolver a few times, I don't really like it a whole lot, and the shotgun just really isn't good at all. And when I was a beginner, I thought the turret was the best, because, you know, all the most expensive, but turns out it's actually really not good, like, at all, especially for solo. Because how the turret works is you have to weld it onto your train in order to use it. So you literally can't even shoot and drive the train at the same time. Like, it's literally useless. And the rifle is overall the best, because even though it's kind of expensive, it does the most damage. Like, in normal mode, it can one-shot zombies with a headshot. That's always really good. And you can use the rifle to raid villages and stuff like that. It's just really, really good. So, always save up your money for the, rifle, because the rifle is going to help you big time. Like, it can be good for raiding villages or raiding towns, and basically, it'll basically be good for raiding everything else. So, yeah, always, save up and get the rifle early game, because it'll be really useful for basically everything else in the long run. And mistake number 3 is not completing the challenges. So if you're a beginner, if you go to the lobby, so, you know, like, you just joined and you're in the lobby, always make sure to just go ahead to the challenges, little board, I guess, and just pick a few challenges to do in the game. Because when you complete a challenge, like, I mean, it depends on the challenge, of course, but when you complete a challenge, you're gonna get bonds, and bonds can be used, for classes, because classes are really good. They're basically just, like, buffs. And you can also use bonds for, like, being able to get, to buy items that only last one game, but you just instantly have them at the beginning of the game. That's also really useful. So yeah, always try your best to complete the challenges, because the challenges can be really good, for some extra bonds. So yeah, always try to complete the challenges, because they'll be really good. Mistake number 2 is not using any of the newspaper, because the newspaper can be extremely good in the beginning for defense, like for your train, defense for your train. Especially the first 3 newspaper that you can get in the beginning, but not just any old defense for your train. Basically, set up the 3 newspaper just as I have here. So put one just right there, and then put another one here, and then you can just put the 3rd newspaper here just to cover this window, because this newspaper will also protect you from bullets and stuff. And the reason why this setup is so good is mainly thanks to these newspapers, because a fun fact for zombies and just any hostiles, literally the only way to get in, like, in this little section here is from here. So, like, I'm sure, like, even as a beginner, like, you already know that, like, oh yeah, duh, I already know that. But the reason why this setup here with these 2 newspapers is so good is because you might be saying right now, like, oh, well, if the hostiles can get in, then neither can I. But then, see, the thing is, if you place them correctly like this, see, you, as a player, you can jump. Hostiles can't. So, thanks to these 2 newspapers, and if they're placed correctly like this, they literally make the perfect system so that you can get in and out, but hostiles can't, because hostiles can't jump. So always take the first 3 newspapers at the beginning and just make this setup. So just put one there, and then the 3rd one there. And then always try your best to raid houses, because in the houses there could also be newspaper, and then you know, you can add even more defense, like maybe add another newspaper right here, like block out this window right here for some extra defense, or maybe like add a newspaper right here, right there, really doesn't matter. But yeah, the point is, never ignore the newspaper. because the newspaper can be really good for defense. But yeah, also, by the way, I wouldn't really recommend using newspaper as fuel either, because yeah, like I've tested like the newspaper fuel, like because like I've tested how much fuel newspaper actually gives you. It gives you like basically nothing. So I wouldn't actually bother using newspapers as fuel. They're way better being used as way better to be used as defense instead. And if you use the newspapers as defense, you also you can also save money on the metal sheets, which are like $20 like per sheet. So you can also use newspapers as defense to save money for that. So yeah. Alright, mistake number 1, and this one I literally made at the beginning of the game. It sounds so brain dead, but it's true, and some people might actually, like, have made this mistake as well. And the mistake is not using the sack. Alright guys, when you first join the game, press 1. Here you have a sack, and you can store things in it, alright? Like, normally, like, by default, you can store up to 10 things, but if you buy, like, a Game Pass, you can store up to 15, but I don't really use the Game Pass, because I don't really like spending money on Roblox games nowadays. But basically, you have a sack. You can store over 10 items in it, and it can literally be any item, no matter how big or small. Like, I've tested it. You can store 10 horses in this thing. I'm not kidding. And the way you store stuff, just hold your sack out, hover over an item, and press F to store. And then again, press F to unstore. And if you're trying to grab multiple things at a time, because store and unstore are the same key, if you want to store something, make sure you're hovering over the item before you press F to store it. Because here, like, okay, so I already have stuff in my sack, and I want to pick up this newspaper. If I'm not hovering over it, and if I'm like this, for example, like the outline isn't there and I press F, it's just gonna unstore what I have. So always make sure, like, if stuff's already in the sack and you want to grab more stuff, always hover over the item and then press F. So yeah, please don't be like me in the beginning where I literally completely ignored the sack, and literally if there were like items in the house, I would literally carry them back to the train one by one, and it was so tedious. So yeah, just a quick tip, you have a sack, so use it, please. And collecting items will be even more efficient if you have a horse. And I also have a top 5 Roblox Dead Rails tips and tricks video that I released. It should be like the previous video to this, so just go check that out. And I also show how to get a horse easily, so make sure to watch that if you want to figure out how to get a horse in the game. So yeah guys, I think that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications if you never want to miss any of my future videos. Yeah, guys, that was my top 5 beginner's mistakes video in Roblox Dead Rails. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something. All these tips were from my experience that I actually made myself and figured out how to correct. And yeah, I enjoyed making this video. I think it was pretty good, and I think it will provide value to you guys. Yeah, guys, see these 2 videos on screen right now. Go ahead and click one of those. I promise you'll love it. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.